You also worked with Cactus Jack, who at this time was Mick Foley. No,
Yes.
he was Cactus Jack there.
Yeah.
Did you think he was going to be a big star?
Oh yeah, he had it. I mean, here's a guy that could work intelligent in his interview. I loved working with him. He had no respect for his body. That's the only thing I wish that it, because you still could be watching him probably if it wasn't for that. But he went all out. I mean, the goofier and the crazier and wild. I like working with him.
Right.
Yes, he was one. Yeah, I had some good matches with him. I enjoyed working with him a lot. Nice guy. Nice guy.
Who did you travel with at this time period?
Oh, golly, I don't even remember. Yeah. Rude was there too.
Yeah.
Me and Rude traveled together a lot. Me and Rick. Me and Rick were a lot together.
Any good memories of teaming with Vader before the altercation with him?
No, but he tried to be like a Mexican, you know. He taking moonsaults off the top rope and everything. Here's a guy that could have made millions and millions of dollars. He had the look. He was big. He could move. He was athletic. He had the world, but I don't know. Something happened to him. To this day, it's a shame. He should have been the hottest thing in the country. He should have been the hottest heel in the country.
He was a monster.
He was. He was. But his attitude, his attitude got him.
What exactly happened between you and Vader?
I know that they asked him, I was doing something. And I think Dave Pinzer went and asked Vader to do some interviews, and he said no. And then somebody else went and asked him, and he said no. And finally, somebody said, Kevin Sullivan said, Paul, would you go ask Tim? Maybe he'll listen to you. Please ask him to see if he'll come and do the interview, because it's like 6 o'clock. The people are film people, the union, so they go on a break lunch or whatever. So we started about 7 something. So we only had about 15 minutes, and it was a very important interview. And I just, like I'm talking here to you, I said, Leon, do you mind doing this interview? And, he said some nasty words. And, it was kind of like this. What's your deal? And, I ain't going to let nobody talk to me that way. He talked really, and I don't know why. That's the sad thing. I don't know why. And one thing led to another. It got hotter and hotter and hotter. And then he sucker punched me. Because, I was with the office. And if I would have ever thrown the first punch, I'd been fired.
Right.
And that quick. And I got up, and if the right one don't get you, the left one will. And I defended myself, and I don't know if you ever seen somebody knocked out on their feet. Have you ever seen them stumble around and finally go down? That's how he went. And I kicked him in the face about 5, 6 times. And then if I could have got a hold of a club or something else, I'm glad I didn't, but I would have killed him. Don't do that. That was wrong. He was wrong. And it cost him a lot of money. I could have sued him. And that's how it happened. Then we got into it again, and I took a couple shots. I worked that night. He was dead. He had to go to the hospital.
What was the vibe in the locker room?
They loved it. It kind of gave me it helped me.
Right.
It helped me to stay there another 5 years. So it wasn't all bad. But it was one of those, you don't like to do that. But then again, here's a guy that ain't been in the business. And you don't talk to people that way. Not in front of everybody in their locker. You don't do it. So it was my pride too. I mean,
Right.
I'm glad he hit me.
Did the boys have a problem with Bill Watts pushing his son Eric at the time?
You know, when you're there, you really, and that was wrong. I mean, because he should have been pushed. He wasn't ready. But he wasn't being pushed that much.
Right.
But nah, I don't, you know, why would it wouldn't even bother me? Because I'm at a whole different level, you know. I don't think so. I mean, probably, yeah. But
Right.
I'd not, you know, I didn't personally. Wasn't a threat to me. I knew the little kid when he was a little guy. So I wanted to help him all I could. And
Right.
did. Had some good matches with him. And it's all about teaching them that, you know, you heard that old thing, you can work with a broom if you know how to, and you find a way. There's a way out there. You know, the truth will be known. The truth is out there.
Right.
Well, that's, you know, it is. I mean, you can, if you know how to do it.
Did Bill Watts change, or was he the same Bill Watts like he was back in the 80s?
Well, Bill, if they left Bill there, it would have been good. It would have, he could have turned around. He could have turned it around. Yes. But there again, you got to deal with,
Higher ups.
you got to deal with that. So, and you got to know how to be politically correct. And it's hard when you got people that don't know anything about wrestling, and they have this vision, I guess, and it's not yours. And
Right.
and these guys are under contract. Some of them, you know, some of them had these contracts that you couldn't touch them. That's bad. That's bad. You never see Vince do that.
Because he comes from, you know, a wrestling family. He knows the business, you know.
You're right. I mean, you got to have incentives. You guarantee people money. They get lazy before it's over with. They think because they're making more money, they don't have to do this, they don't have to do that. They're locked into the contract. That was the downfall. Bad, bad, bad.
Too Cold Scorpio. You worked with him.
Yeah,
Thoughts on him?
I thought he was okay. I thought he could have been something. Yeah, you know, he was a black fella, but I thought he could have been something. He wasn't real big, but he did some good stuff. He'd been good in Japan, you know, but then they got rid of him for some reason. I don't know what it even was now.
Right.
But I think they got rid of.
Drugs.
Was it?
Yeah, I think marijuana.
Yeah, so
Whatever. Dustin Rhodes.
That gimmick, I hated it. I hated it. Dustin knows how to work. I mean, there's a good young kid that could have really done something, but he never did. He never got really. Goldust, please.
Huh.
Too far out there.
You also worked with Ricky Steamboat back then.
Yeah. I like it. Rick was good to work with. He's a pro. He's a pro.
I know Scotty Steiner had a lot of problems with Bill Watts, but did any other guys ever want to walk out on Bill at the time?
You know, I don't, and I'm being honest with you, I don't really remember. But you're right about that. There was a conflict there. But I don't know. I'm sure there was others. I'm
Right.
sure. I don't remember the whole thing because like I said, I really didn't try to get in all that and get into it. It just wasn't worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It brings you down. And there's a lot of things that went on that I didn't even know about, nor did I care. Worried about myself. Myself.
How did things change once Bill left?
Who took over then? I don't even remember.
After Bill, was not Bischoff yet. Jim, was it Jim Hurd?
Yeah.
Was it?
Jim, I never knew much about him because I got him towards the tail end.
Right.
But and I'm being honest, I don't know that much about him. Other that he'd do our interviews, he was the mic guy, and he helped me and he did a good job. I mean, that's about all I know, of it, because I wasn't around him that much.
Right. When Eric Bischoff came in, how did the boys take him as their boss?
Well,
and what are your early thoughts on Eric Bischoff?
if you can't say something good about somebody, then don't say nothing.
Nothing good to say. How did you wind up taking more responsibilities as far as the office?
Well, they were starting to ask, and even Eric even did. I mean, in the beginning, he'd ask this and he'd ask that and about this person, about that, and he valued my opinion. He's told me that. And then it got to the point that the boys, the guys started just, he got worked. He just got worked. He got worked by the best.
Right.
And, they had a heck of a thing going there. But then again, it's one thing of going to the races. It's another thing to win it. And he didn't know how to win it. You got to win it every week. And all he worried about was to beat Vince. And, like I said earlier, they beat him, for a while. But then after that, the first year I said it was going to be great. The second year, it ain't going to be quite as great. Third year, it's going to be hard. We're going to have to work. Fourth year, you better know your stuff.
Right.
Exactly what happened. To the T. Prediction from day one. Because I saw it already.
So you think the downfall of WCW was that basically he was listening to the boys?
What do you think?
Yeah. At the time, you also teamed with Steve Austin, and you guys did the Pretty Wonderful team.
Yeah. I knew Steve had talent. And me and Steve started hunting together. I got him into hunting and everything. And I like Steve. Me and Steve, and I got to be real good friends with Steve. And I'm proud of him. He made the right move. They tried to bury him. And I'm glad he went there. I'm glad for him. He's done well. He's done really good. He just needs to quit cussing so much.
Was there any future plans if Paul Roma didn't leave to keep you guys as a tag team? And did you enjoy teaming with Paul Roma?
Yes, we had at that time, we had it going pretty daggum good. Tag team wise, we were probably the better tag team there. And it worked. Paul was great, Got to talk to him some and change his mind around a little bit. But heck, it got to where it was clicking. And it worked out great. Then there again, because of something happened and anyway, he was gone.
Any memories of your matches with the Nasty Boys?
They're crazy. Them boys are crazy. I like them. They sure know how to get you laughing and
King of Ribs.
Oh yeah, I love it. Hey, they're good guys. And you know something? You got to watch them in their gimmick and everything that they've done. They did it pretty darn good. They're not the greatest, this and that, but buddy, they work hard. They did, and I respect them. Another guys, a lot of that I will, but those they did a good job. One time they were getting over real good.
They also teamed you with the Equalizer, and you teamed with the Shockmaster at Battle Bowl. Any memories on that?
Nah, that didn't.
All right.
Just basically to try to teach them. And
right.
That's all that was. I was a teacher then.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.